Hey folks, Sony Cabbage Coins. I'm doing a quick little impromptu video in the final minutes before the opening of the fun show here and the last day on Sunday. Yes, the room is pretty empty at this point because this is Sunday, the last day. Probably about 60% of the dealers at this point have packed up and they took flights home yesterday. But you know, this show is actually crazy good. It was packed. It was packed to the gills. I mean, it was kind of a frenzy, frankly, of the public, of people coming in to both buy and to sell. I did not talk to a single coin dealer that did not have a really good show, and I just hope that it continues for the summer fun as well, and as the rest of the other coin shows, this year. It was actually insane. I probably sold in the course of the show close to about 30 or 40% of my inventory, and then turned it over, and I bought other things during the show. And overall, I mean, it was just stellar. It was crazy, actually. A couple things I wanted to note. So on Thursday, when the public came in, it was chaotic. It was a little bit overwhelming. I was definitely overwhelmed here. I was kind of a one-man crew. I got some help from my buddy Travis. I was sharing a table with another gentleman who was also helping customers. But for me, it was a little bit, I had a lot of people that wanted to see a lot of coins. They wanted to buy stuff, which is great. We'll get to that more in a second. But also just on the selling side, there was people lined up that wanted to sell. I want to thank you, everybody who watched the video that was asking for people to come out to bring things to offer. Table 135 here. I hope I got a chance to talk to a lot of you. If I did not get a chance to see your coins and to make you an offer, I do apologize. Hopefully you're able to sell your items somewhere else here on the Bourse floor. One thing I would note, I think, so the biggest challenge for me was getting through offers or getting through collections, taking a look at things and kind of figuring out what I pay for things. One of the challenges of being a coin dealer, especially one like myself, I've got 5 years of experience, is I don't know kind of off the cuff the market values or what I really should make offers on for coins for every single coin that's out there. Coins are just almost endless. So I got to do a little bit of research. What helps a ton is having a idea in mind or a price of what you would like to get for the item. It helps. I cannot tell you how much it helps, because I'd be able to take an item that you have a price for, that you know what you want, and I can kind of do research in that item, and I can see whether we're going to be in line with meeting your expectations, or we might be too far apart, and I won't waste any more of your time, and I'll be able to move on to some of the next customers that are there. I think on a couple of occasions I spent a lot of time and it ended up just not working out for the customer, and I do apologize about that. But in the future, that's one thing I would just recommend. I think it's a really good plan of attack, is to do your research and to know generally what price should this be pretty appealing and easy to purchase from a dealer, so that you guys can get the money that you want for your items. That would be one thing I would say. On the buying side for collectors, so we've mentioned this a couple times in the podcast. And this again goes back to this idea about doing research and knowing generally what the market value and prices of things before you show up to a show, because things go quickly. The good stuff, the really good high quality things that you might want for your collection, especially if they're at a reasonable price, they tend to go fairly quickly. On a couple of occasions, 2 occasions I can think of, somebody liked the coin. They were thinking really hard about the coin. The price was decent, but they still wanted to go around the room and kind of see what else is available. On 2 occasions, those people came back and the item had sold to somebody else like 10 minutes later. And yes, there is an enormous room. Yes, there are so many different things to see, and it can be overwhelming. You want to make sure there's not a better deal somewhere across the room. But it's kind of a double-edged sword. You can the really good items that are priced, reasonably, priced moderately, those things do sell. So you might very well miss out on it. And as I mentioned a few times, when you buy something you really, really like, I think the fact that you paid a little bit strong for it, you kind of forget about that because of how much you love the item that is that you purchased for your collection. So always act decisively, in my opinion, as a collector who's done the research and knows what they want before they even step into the show. Act decisively when you do see it. And today, at the show, I met one new client who came by, and she was looking at vintage bars, and she saw the episode we did, and she saw one that she really liked that was really appealing to her, and she just stepped up and she bought it. And I was just so impressed with how decisive she was on that. And that's exactly what I think the collectors should do to take the most advantage of a show like this. So what else would I say? Man, this show was just jam-packed, and hopefully the energy continues on through the course of the rest of the year. Gold and silver prices obviously driving a lot of the frenzy right now. There's a lot of energy in this market around gold, around silver, but also around collectibles and numismatics. I sold a good number of seeded Liberty dollars, which I've been talking about for a while as being, great coins. They have a lot of value. And I also sold a good amount of nice numismatic gold, which is, obvious. It's a no-brainer. I sold a couple of vintage silver bars, I think maybe coming off of that episode we did with Michael Mayer, which you haven't seen. Speaking of the podcast, this week, there will not be a podcast. Unfortunately, I did a recording and my microphone was not kind of perfectly plugged into my computer setup, so the audio did not capture very well at all. It's really actually quite bad. So we're going to go ahead and record that. It's an episode with William Taylor Leverage on chop marked coins, and it is super, super interesting. This guy has written a book about this stuff, and it was a super informative episode. So we did a practice take, and we're going to do another one, and hopefully that will come out then, not this week, but the following week on Wednesday. So take care, enjoy the rest of this month here, this long month of January, and build your collecting goals for the year. And reach out through email, Tony@CabbageCoins.com, if I can help you in any way, and I can help you guys build a great collection that you are excited about and proud of. So talk to you guys in the next one, and see ya.